Hey everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know I ask you to do it every single day. Why? Because we are building a community here. We are building a tribe, and let me tell you, this is the best tribe on these internet streets. And if you don't believe me, go in the comments, talk to somebody. It is the most amazing people that is a part of this community. It is the most amazing people that are a part of this tribe. And if you want to be a part of it, you know what you need to do? Go right down here in these settings. Look around, find that subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit that notification bell too, so you know when I upload or when I just want to pop in, and I do pop in quite often, let me tell you. Also, give me a thumbs up to fight my nemesis, the beast, the algorithm. Woo, child. It is a battle, and we have been battling for a long time. So if you want to help me in the battle, give me a thumbs up. Also, I just want to thank everybody who just takes the time to watch the commercials to support the channel. It means everything. It helps the channel out so much, and I appreciate you so much. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, right about here, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting my channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful, so thankful, so over the moon appreciative for your support. Also, if you just want to do a one-time donation, our super thanks button is right over there. And all donations to the channel is always greatly appreciated. All right, y'all. I do have a shout out. I want to shout out Tiger Mommy. Tiger Mommy, you just keep coming through. You are such a ride or die and such a big part of this community and this tribe. And I am so grateful and so thankful to have you. And I am just over the moon that you are a part of this tribe. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the super thanks. Also, I want to make amends because I was late posting Angela May's official welcome to the reading club yesterday. Well, this morning, later this morning. I don't think I posted it until it was like almost noon. I fell asleep. And y'all, if y'all want perfection, y'all are not going to find it in me. I'm sorry. I am a goof up a lot of the time. Sometimes I goof things up, but love me through it. And that is why I want to just encourage everybody to go over to the community page and welcome Angela. Angela May is now an official member of the reading club, and I am so thrilled. I am over the moon. I am so happy to have her, and I want her to feel so welcome. I do. I want her to feel so welcome. So please, 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 if you haven't already, go over to the community page and welcome Angela to the reading club. Yes, yes, yes. All right, y'all. With all that said, let's get to the read. We have a lot. We do. We do. We just have a lot to chit chat about. And so, y'all know when I am putting the read together, y'all know what I do. I hit these internet streets, and let me tell you, that is where I have been today. I have been all over the place. I've been over to Blue Sky. I've been at TikTok. Oh, TikTok is just everything. Let me tell you. I went over to Instagram, went over there and stalked Meghan a little bit, also to see what the Instagram squatties was talking about, what was up with them, and they are kind of all over the place. Y'all, they still dragging that chef that I did the pop-up about. They are dragging him. They are going through his dreams. I don't understand why he really thought that he could pull something like this off and would not be found out. Do he not know who he dealing with? Does he not know who the Sussy Squad is? They will go through your dreams. They will go through your aspirations. They will go through your hopes. They will find everything. And he really thought he could sit up there with his low IQ self, looking like he on the spectrum, and to talk all that nonsense and just sit there and flat out lie, and nobody was going to say anything. I'm just saying, and here's some, some connections are really starting to show that he might be connected to that family, but surprise, surprise, we already kind of figured that out because people just don't do something for no reason. And why would he just do that? For clout? For what? Because he has just about destroyed his career if he ever had one. I am yet to believe if he ever had one. But I tell you what, anytime he just pops his head out and we can identify that it's him, we all are going to go in and just remind him of what he has done over and over and over and over again. I hope whoever paid him, if he was paid, that they paid him a good chunk of change, as we say down here in the South. Because if they didn't, he is absolutely going to be homeless. He's not just going to look like he is in just a matter of time. I'm just saying. So they dragging him, still dragging him, and just still talking about Megan and y'all talking about Commonwealth Day. We gonna talk about Commonwealth Day too. Y'all know I cannot resist dragging them. I can't. But yeah, they're talking about that and still just talking about Megan and how she is highlighting some of the people who are just inspired by With Love Megan making dishes and whatnot. Yes, they're talking about that. And y'all know after that, I made my way to X, formerly known as Twitter, which I always lovingly call the sewer now. Yes, the squatties over there, yeah, they doing the same thing. They dragging that chef. I tell you what, when they get through with him, that when they get through skull dragging him, all that hair he got on his head is gonna be just reduced down to a few strands because the squatties is not playing with him. And if he got anything in his past, whew, I hope he don't because it's going to be on full display on Front Street in just a matter of time if the squatters get a hold to it. And I hope, well, I ain't going to say I hope so. But y'all know how I like a mess. Y'all know how I like a mess. So if it's some messiness in his past, bring it to the front. That's all I'm saying. That is all I am saying. And then they're talking about Commonwealth Day too. Yeah, they talking about that and how Kitty Cat's fans are just not happy with her. Yes, they are openly talking about how they're not happy with her. And we're going to talk about that a little bit too. And just a whole lot of other little knick-knack, paddywhack things that we're going to cover. And I found a really good article in Essence about With Love Megan and how Essence is just plainly saying if you don't like With Love Megan, well, maybe it's not for you. And I agree. Why does people feel so pressed? If they don't like it, go on about your business. Things I don't like, I do not pay any attention to. But we know it's not about them not liking it. It's about jealousy. It's about racism. It's about uh, misogyny. It's about a whole lot of that stuff. Envy. Yes, that's what it's about. But they want to try to pretend like it's just that they don't like it. And they don't, as if they don't understand how to move on, how to move past it, not to watch it. The last time I looked, Netflix wasn't forcing anybody to watch With Love Megan. But yet and still they want to act like they are ridiculous. And they are on these internet streets pretending like we don't know that it is not mandatory for them to watch it. I mean, just a cry, just crying about how much they hate it. and how much that second season is just absolutely going to stir the demons inside of them. Now, I added that part, but we all know that part is true as well. All right, y'all, let's get started. We're going to start with Commonwealth Day. It was delicious because when Charles and his horse rolled up, they were shocked by how many protesters it was there and the lack of royal fans that wasn't there. They were really, really shocked. You could see it on their faces. And Lord have mercy, as my grandmama used to say, the horse was really, really taken aback. She looked over there kind of briefly and she saw all those protesters. She scurried her hoofs and her hiney all the way back up in that abbey as just as fast as she could. She scurried right on in. And I think they all was just really, really shocked. You could see it on their face. I'm gonna put this up, and this is if you go online, it is a lot of little clips online of when Charles and Camilla arrived, and you can hear the booing. It is nothing but booing. Yes, the tables have turned. What they have wished on Harry and Meghan, what that news media over there, those rags over there saying that Harry and Meghan, they're so scared that they're going to be booed. If they are booed, what if they're booed? Well, we see them being booed every time they show up, but nothing is ever written about it. Nothing is ever said about it. If that had been Harry and Meghan rolling up and with all those boos, they would have broke into regular programming just to talk about it. And we all know that to be a fact. But nothing is said when Charles, his horse, and William and Kitty Cat, when they are booed, and they were soundly booed today. They really was. And like I say, you could see it in their face. They were so wounded. I haven't saw their face look so rejected since the Trooping of the Colors, when they came out on the balcony and they looked over at the crowd and it was so sparse. And because, they have saw what a full mall looked like when the Queen was here with us. And now that she's gone, it is not a full mall anymore. Not that many people show up. And I got a feeling it is going to continue to shock them because it's going to be less and less and less. And I just love it for them because, like I said, they have landed some punches on Harry and Meghan, but the blowback has been more severe. They have damaged that monarchy. They really, really have. People do not care and they do not hold it in reverence like they used to. They are flawed people and people absolutely see that. They see people in their everyday life that is more capable than Charles and his horse and William and Kate. And they are saying to themselves, you trying to make me believe that these people are somehow purer than me, that they're somehow better than me, that I'm supposed to bow to them when I am in actuality better than them. I mean, it is ridiculous. And people are slowly but surely waking up. And I just love that for them. I really do. But I'm going to put it up. And this particular squatty says this: the wannabe most popular struggled outside of the Abbey. Not my king, protesters, press, security, and 3 priests was there. They saying that's all was there. It says no crowd. Charles left Kate Middleton out of his Women's Day speech because he thinks she is useless. Well, it ain't like he ain't right. Because what is Kitty Cat good for except being a clothes hanger? And she's not even really good at that. All she does is copy off of Meghan. So I cannot, pull anything up off the top of my head that she is good at, except not being good. Now, she is good at not being good, but other than that, she is not good at anything. But it goes on to say, unlike Megan Sussex, that's why to they tried to sabotage her. Where is the lie? That is absolutely it. Megan showed them up for who they are. And that's why their goal is to sabotage everything that Meghan and Harry does, to try to make them into failures as well. Because we know everything that those folks try over there, they fail at it. They have never had a documentary that broke the top 10. Ever. Ever. But they keep on plugging along. Why? Because they want to feel like in some way they are in competition with Harry and Meghan. And Harry and Meghan keeps on just knocking it out the park, home run after home run, putting the points on the board, and they keep on dropping the ball. They keep on dropping the ball, but yet and still they keep on playing. And why, I do not know. This one-sided competition, they keep wearing you out. They do. Harry and Meghan wear them out. I'm just saying. But yes, I agree. That is the reason they try to sabotage her, because she is everything she is, and she puts the points on the board, and she's very, very capable. Now, I'm going to put this one up. And this was posted by Chris Ship. And Chris Ship is the, what is it, ITV's royal expert or royal reporter or whatever he is. He's a royal something. Really nothing. But this is what Chris Ship with a P, not a T, said. King Charles and his horse arrived at Westminster Abbey to a noisy caliphony. I guess that's the way. Calicophony. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Of noise outside of the Commonwealth service. Abbey bells, bagpipes, Republic staff protests, LGBT protests, Cameroon protests. Hard not to hear it, even from the other side of the road. You know they heard it because you could tell on their face. They could not absolutely hide it. They were very, very disappointed at what they faced when they came to the Abbey, where it used to be cheers, where it used to be hip, hip, hooray. Now it is not my king, and boo, boo is greeting them. And you can see it all over their face. People are really starting to wake up, and they're just not about that life anymore, of bowing to someone who is more mediocre than they are. I'm just saying. I'm going to put this up. And this squatty responded to Chris Ship with a P and not a T, and said this. Okay, and your tweet, if this was Meghan, would exclude the following: the Abbey bells, the bagpipes, the Republic staff protests, the LGBT protests, the Cameroon protests, and you would exclude all of that. This is what this squatty is saying, and just say she was booed. Where is the lie? Where is the lie? That's exactly what Chris Ship with a P, not a T, would have said if that had been Meghan. But we all know that he is in the bag for that family. They are just a PR extension of that family. And it is disgusting at this point. Nobody takes anything they say seriously. And if you go down in these comments, people are just riding him like a pony because he has no credibility, because he did not show up for Invictus. He faded to black. The minute Invictus was over and Meghan dropped her trailer for With Love Meghan, he was all over it. They had something to say about every little thing. But when Invictus was going on, they all faded to black. So they have zero credibility, and we will continue to treat them as such. because we absolutely see that that family can shut them down at any time. And this is what this old milk toast post is about. This little weak post is about. When in actuality, you see the videos, and it was a rousing booing of that family. I just love it for them. I do. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this one up. And this is from Not My King. And it's talking about all the protesters that was there. And it said, did you see any tourists, any at all? Katie, our most popular royal attraction, zero tourists. And basically what they're saying, that's a big argument they have for that family over there, that they're good for tourism, that they bring in tourists. And it has been proven that that is not true, because France is the number one tourist country over there in Europe, and they got rid of their royal family a long time ago. So forget about that. That is not true. How can France with no royal family be ahead of another country that has a royal family? And I don't know. And if y'all know, y'all put it in the comments. I don't know where Britain's royal family fall, but I do know that France is number one. So France being number one disproved this whole idea that somehow they're worth their weight in salt because of the fact that they bring in tourists. And we all know that that's not true. It is the artifact, it is the palaces that bring in the tourists. It would be, I'm telling you, they would probably get more tourists if they open up Buckingham Palace and get rid of them folks. I think I don't know if Buckingham Palace is open. I think you can go into Buckingham Palace, but if they will open up all that stuff and get rid of them, because they are running $1 billion check every year, just think about what they could do with that money instead of it going to one family. That is ridiculous. And one family that does nothing for anybody else except take from the taxpayer. Just take and take and take. It is just ridiculous. And that's why I am so happy that Not My King is not letting the pressure up off their neck, and you can see it in their faces. Every time they see that yellow and black, you can see it. It is a haze that come over their face, and I love it. And here, I'm going to put this up. Here is a perfect example. Look at Kitty Cat's face. She wasn't expecting that. She did. No, she didn't. And this Not My King said the most popular royal is getting booed all the way into Westminster Abbey. Yes, she is being carried into the Abbey on a wave of boo. And if that was Meghan, like I said, they would stop all the presses and break into the regular programming to discuss and put up panel after panel after panel while Meghan got booed. But yet and still here Kitty Cat, who has profaned that she has had cancer, and nobody cares to the point where they didn't boo her. Evidently, nobody outranks a boo in the United Kingdom, and I love that for them. I do. All right, y'all, I'm gonna put this one up. And if you don't know what's going on here, look at her giving a side eye, trying to look at the protesters on the sly. She knows, she knows she is being rained down with nothing but boo. She is being hit with the boo hoo 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 hoo. And she is not feeling it. She is not feeling it. She is not, because we all know that these people love for you to applaud them, love for you to lift them up, love for you to bow down to them for nothing, for nothing. They think their little smile here and there is supposed to lift your spirits. They actually have that ingrained in them in some way. And when they are hit with the stark reality of people are not about that life anymore, not about bowing to them, not about heaping praise on them for nothing and about trying to get rid of them, their attitude kind of reflects it on her face right here now, doesn't it? Look at her. And I'm telling you, them jaws is just about hitting the ground, aren't they? No photoshopping there. Her Kate's jowls is just about to hit the ground. She has not had a facelift. I'm telling you, if she has had a facelift, she needs to go and get that money back, because I'm telling you, he didn't do his job. And the original post said, should I flash or not flash the peasants? And what they're talking about, y'all know the last time she wore this dress, it was during, I think, the state visit, when it was at China. I can't remember. But she wore this and she absolutely flashed just about everybody. The dress came up so high that we didn't see her cooch. But I'm telling you, it was close. It was really, really close. But yeah, so that is what this particular post is about. And then another squatty came in and reposted it and said, when the mask slipped by. I cannot have it, y'all. But yes, yes. And look at her looking to the side, trying to see the protesters, but not trying to give it away. We all know that she is famous for that side eye. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And look at their faces going into the Abbey. Yes, look at William. Look at her. And they were not expecting that kind of reception when they got to the Abbey. Y'all know they're so used to people praising them for being mediocre. And I tell you what, and the horse hurried up and galloped right on into the Abbey, because she absolutely was crushed. You could tell her face. Like, she already know nobody like her. Camilla walked in that Abbey. She galloped in that Abbey like her shoes hurt her feet. I kid you not. She walked in like she was walking on hot coals. And I don't know whose shoes. She maybe need to take a little tip from the queen. Y'all remember they said the queen would let other people wear her shoes until they were broken in. That's what Camilla needs to do, because I'm telling you, she seemed like she was in some kind of pain. She did. She did. And I love it for her. I love it for her. I'm just saying. But let me put it up. And it says, when the only crowd that's there to see the royals have placards saying abolish the monarchy, oopsie daisy, oopsie daisy. Yes, because it is getting to the point where people are just not caring about them at all. They can do without their little smile and a wave. And all that's left is the protesters who show up. They're the only ones that actually care. And I just love it for them. I do. I do. And look at Charles's face. And look at the horse. The horse want to get in there. Her feet is hurting her, and she does not like the rejection. And my whole thing is, she is a big part of the problem. Charles and her, Fred and Gladys, have absolutely single-handedly brought down the monarchy on their own. They try to put it on Harry and Meghan, but it's not Harry and Meghan. It's clearly the decisions that Charles have made in conjunction with William. That's all I'm saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this one up. And it's just more of the same. They got booed out of the place. I'm telling you, they stumped the place up with the boos. And this particular squatty said this: what the vile royals and their psycho fans wish for Harry and Meghan, karma. Well, it's a lie. This kind of reception, this kind of response is something that they worked real hard to try to make Harry and Meghan, everywhere they go, that people would treat them like this. But in actuality, this is their reality. The blowback is real. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And look at William and Kate. Look at their faces. They don't believe it. They don't. They cannot believe that this is where they're at. And this particular squatty said this: zero supporters, hundreds of people who want to get rid of them. The site is insane. Yes, this is what they meant when they rolled up in their expensive cars that these same people had purchased, these taxpayers. And they're tired of the grifting off of them. And they're tired of the treachery and how they actually ran off the two people who were actually trying to work for the people. And now they're left with this, with them, and the people are not satisfied at all because they've been exposed for the grifters, for the scroungers, for the thieves that they are. And I just love it for them. The people are just not having it anymore. The majority of the people are indifferent to them, and the other part is absolutely determined to get them out of there. And that's their situation at this time. And I love it for them. I do. I love it for them. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And this says it all. It says, this is what they're paying for. Would you run $1 billion check for this right here? Charles and his horse, William and Kitty Cat, and I don't know who that is. I think that's the Duke of Windsor or one of them. But Sophie and Edward was not there. I mean, just about nothing. But yet and still, the price tag keeps getting fatter and fatter for these people. And they're flying around in helicopters, riding around in expensive cars, just clocking the dollars from the taxpayer. And yet and still, what do? Nothing. Just a little smile here and there and a wave. I mean, the British public is just not going to continue to accept that. Who would? I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And People magazine, of course, wrote an article about it. It says Kate Middleton returns to Commonwealth Day service for first time in 2 years amidst cancer recovery. We all know that. I think that's a requirement for them to put her performative cancer in every headline. But I digress. This is about the engagement. Look. Nobody cares about Kitty Cat. She's supposed to be the most popular. And she can't even garner any kind of interest whatsoever. And that outfit she had on, even her own supposedly fans are saying they disappointed with that. Kitty Cat. Kitty Cat. That's all I can say. She just don't have any kind of inspiration because all those clothes that Meghan was wearing in her cooking show was casual clothes. So she didn't know what to wear because she could not have copied off of Meghan. She hadn't been able to copy off of Meghan. That's why she went back and got that old dress that she's worn time and time again. I just love it. And this particular squatty posted that and said this: that necklace is ugly. It looks like a badge. And said number two, the lack of interaction on the article is embarrassing for the future queen. It is. It is. This is supposed to be the future queen of the United Kingdom, and nobody cares. I'm just saying. Look, she got 12 likes. 12. And 4,000 people came to look at the article. 4,000. That's horrible. And 4 comments. She got 4 comments. and she is the future queen of the United Kingdom. But we all know she is an empty vessel. She is so shallow. She's only good for, wearing clothes. And like I said, she can't even do that right if she doesn't have some kind of inspiration from the Queen, from Diana or Meghan. She has never been able to create her own style. And this is what she gets when she doesn't have she doesn't have anybody to draw from. You get a coat dress and a pillbox hat. And that's what she was serving up at Commonwealth Day today. And her followers was not happy about it, her so-called fans. And I love that for them. I do. All right, y'all. I'm going to put this one up. And it says, Kitty's fans aren't loyal. They are tired of the coat dresses. They claim she's not putting any more effort in her appearance. That's cause the one she used to copy homework off of or from isn't coming to her school no more. Meaning that Meghan. I just said that. Meghan has been wearing casual clothes, and Meghan has been wearing clothes that would not be appropriate for Kitty Cat to wear. But she absolutely has ran out of ideas. So she went back to the old familiar, which is the coat dress and the pillbox hat. And they are just not happy. You can see these are some of the comments. They're saying that she's just not putting in the effort anymore. I'm just, all I can say is when they act like Kate was always a fashion plate. When? When was she ever a fashion plate? She went back to the old familiar. Kate, when Meghan got over there, Kate was wearing coat dresses. She had the same coat dress in about 20 colors, and she would rotate between them and with different hats. She had no style, none whatsoever, unless she was copying Diana or copying the Queen. It's as if they have some kind of amnesia. Kate has really never had a style that she can claim that is her own. She has not. And all these designers that Meghan, uses and wears was totally foreign to Kate. She only started wearing some of them to copy Meghan. And that's just fact. I'm just saying. So they can get upset all they want to. But at the end of the day, Kate has never had any style. And I don't know what they're talking about. They must have bumped their fevered head. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. This right here shows how boring, how sad, how melancholy that whole event of the Commonwealth Day, because they were just absolutely just reminiscing about when Harry and Meghan last attended. This article right here, no, it's not from 5 years ago. No, it's not. It is from today. Yes, People magazine actually wrote an article reminiscing about when Harry and Meghan last attended the Commonwealth Day. Yes, because it has not been worth watching since then. And that's pretty much, how can you be gone 5 years and they start reminiscing about when you last attended, and they have a whole family there to write articles about? What does that say? That say that everybody over there is a dud, and we want Harry and Meghan. We are absolutely reminiscing about when Harry and Meghan used to bring the shine to the Commonwealth. I'm just saying. And this is what it says. It says Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's last royal outing was 5 years ago. Here's what really went down. It felt cold. They absolutely is dredging that back up because they didn't get anything. What that family was given today just wasn't giving enough for the media. They just cannot give it. They're just not giving. And the media just absolutely somehow have to bring Harry and Meghan into it. Harry is probably somewhere surfing. Meghan is probably in her garden. And those people are over there reminiscing about the last time they were at the Commonwealth Day service. Whew, I'm telling you, the shine is being missed today. And I love that for them. Never run the goose that lays the golden eggs away because you'll miss those eggs. I'm telling you. And they are doing exactly that. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. This is an article that I found in Essence, and it is just a clapback to all of these people, all these toadies and trolls running around here talking about they don't like with love Meghan, like somebody asked them or required them to watch it. But Essence just absolutely puts it perfectly. I'm not going to read all of the article, just some of it. And the parts where I really feel that Essence just come in there and says what needs to be said. And this is the title of the article. It says, Op-Ed, Meghan Markle's new show is not for you. It's not for you. If you don't like it, if it's not your cup of tea, if she somehow annoys you in some way, it's not for you. Do you not know how to not watch something that's not for you or you might not be interested in? I mean, is something wrong with you? Are you retarded? Did you bump your head? Do you have a fever? What's going on with you? Why is it that you are feel why is it that you feel so compelled to watch something that you say you hate? Now, is that Megan's problem or is that your problem? And that's basically what this Essence article is saying. It's not a Megan problem, it's a you problem. And deal with that. I'm just saying. So it goes on to say critics are in a tizzy about With Love Meghan is a harmless, peaceful series that showcased the public figure in a deserved soft girl era. And that's the problem. That's why they have a problem with her because she's living a soft life. And I want to read this part. It says, from the minute she was introduced as Prince Harry's fiance, she was ripped apart with enough racism thrown her way due to her biracial identity and LA beginnings. Remember the Mail Online almost straight out of Compton crap headline? But Harry's team had to put out a rare statement at the time in her defense. She would later divulge that she never felt protected by Buckingham Palace. She never felt like she was protected by Buckingham Palace because she would. Because they were the one feeding her to the wolves. That's why she wasn't protected. But they don't go into that in this article. But it goes on to say she has been through it. And in order for her to be with her husband, she had to give up a lot. He also eventually had to give up a great deal, pretty much everything, just for the family to find some peace and calm in Los Angeles. So if sis wants to show me how to take store-bought flowers and make them into some fancy smancy creation because my friend is coming by to Kiki, I will support. And it goes on to say that With Love Meghan is not for you if you absolutely don't like it. It says it's for Meghan and her fans. And they said it's an opportunity for her to return to the things she genuinely loved before we all knew her as the Duchess of Sussex. Exactly. And it goes on to say that because what are the credentials, and this is what I like about this article. It breaks it down saying that they're somehow saying that why is Meghan a lifestyle expert? And this article goes in to say that who has any credibility to be a lifestyle expert. Martha Stewart didn't go to school to be a lifestyle expert. It goes on to say, they talked about how she just had a knack for decorating and catering. She had a catering business and she parlayed that into a lifestyle career. And Meghan has just as much credentials or just as much cred to be a lifestyle expert or have this show as Martha Stewart and as anybody else. And then they also said that, because of her heritage, some people might feel like that is not appropriate for her to live a soft life. But Essence brought up B. Smith. B. Smith was a lifestyle expert and entrepreneur before Martha Stewart. She was a black lady. So my whole thing is nobody owns this genre. Everybody has contributed to it. Why is Meghan not welcomed into it? Why she shouldn't be welcomed into it? Because she has just as much credibility as anybody else. Meghan had a blog. It was very popular. It had millions and millions of followers. And why, oh, why would she not be taken serious where Martha Stewart is taken serious? Because Martha Stewart started out catering. Her whole career, she didn't go to school for this. She learned as she went. And she is not a professional chef. Not at all. But somehow they want to critique Meghan harsher than they would anybody else. Do you think Pamela Anderson, she don't get this kind of nonsense? They want to say that Meghan is copying her. She hadn't went to school and become a chef. Where is her credibility? Where is her accolades? Where did she go to school? And that's what this particular article is saying. Leave Meghan alone. And if you don't like what she is doing, move on, because it is plenty of people out there that do. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And this says Meghan's impact is undeniable. She attracts and inspires, and no one can deny her influence. Where is the lie? Who can deny Meghan's influence? Look at all of this. And my timeline is filled up. I mean, and every, online magazine is talking about what Meghan cooked. So it's undeniable. And it says her series with Love Meghan is a hit. Everyone is recreating her recipes, testing them, and sharing them on social media. We talked about in my last podcast why her pasta dish is trending on TikTok. And they hate her for it. They do. They hate her because she has influence. Meghan can drive the conversation online and offline. I'm just saying. And it goes on to say, meanwhile, racist pro-monarchy trolls try to pretend she haven't any. Yes, they try to pretend like she has no influence, that she's irrelevant. And in actuality, it is proven time and time again that she and Harry are the only folks that came out of that royal family that has any kind of influence and can draw any eyeballs and to absolutely attract any interest from the world. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this one up. And it says, Meghan is really the epitome of Karen's worst nightmare. These people are in hell right now. I love this for them. I know Prince Harry is sat in his gorgeous sunny garden somewhere thinking his heavens for the life that he has. Yes, because we all talked about yesterday in my podcast yesterday, the life that he had before Meghan, and compare that with the life that he has now. Yes, he should be sitting in his garden thanking heaven that he absolutely has the life that he has. Not saying that he hadn't helped work for it, but Meghan was the catalyst to drive this to fruition. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. It seems that Charles's radio show has premiered and he is off and running and boring everybody to tears, even though he is talking about black music. He is absolutely trying to use black music to promote himself because we all know this is what it is. Charles could care less about Beyonce's music or anybody else's music. It's all about trying to find something popular in order to try to elevate him. It has always been like that. They see everybody as like a tool or something that can be used to enhance them. This is how these people think. It's all about them. They feel like they're centered in every situation, and if you are anywhere in their vicinity, you are something to be used if you have any use to them. And that is why he is talking about Beyonce, because he feels like he can use that in some kind of way to get people to be more interested in what he is saying. And it's ridiculous. I'm gonna put it up. It says King Charles III said Beyonce is so exceptional during the King's Music Room radio special. Additionally, he played Crazy in Love and revealed it was one of his personal favorite songs. Yeah, okay. Okay. We supposed to believe that? Okay. I'm just saying. I'm gonna put this up. He might really like Beyonce, but Beyonce and Jay-Z really like Meghan. Y'all remember when this happened? I think it was the British Music Awards, and they was giving Meghan HE double hockey sticks, and we absolutely could see it from across the pond, including Beyonce and Jay-Z, and they did this when Beyonce, I think they were both accepting an award because they had did a song together, and they did this. And this particular squatty posted that picture of them and said this: King Charles, I love Beyonce. Beehive, we still don't like you. And that's Princess Diana and Princess Meghan. Exactly. Exactly. And he also knows that Meghan and Beyonce are friends. Exactly. And Meghan was at a Beyonce concert. Well, she was at two concerts last year. And it's all because of trying to steal some kind of shine from Meghan so people can associate him with that. I mean, it is just ridiculous. They're even down to using the same words. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. All right, I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty said this: Sussex Squad Code Conversation. Now, we all know why Fred mentioned B. I just told you what I thought and why I feel like he mentioned it. He mentioned it to try to get some kind of association, to try to get some kind of article out of it, trying to motivate himself using Beyonce to try to elevate himself, try to draw in some interest, try to draw some eyeballs. It's all about use. It's never about anything else. And it's so sad that they are reduced to these kind of antics, these kinds of just ridiculous skits and what I don't even know the word that I'm even looking for here. It's just ridiculous. He is the king of England and he's reduced to this kind of nonsense. It's ridiculous. I'm just saying. I'm going to put this up, and this is a repost, and the original post said, well, it has a whole lot of words on there. Davio has made me love Pidgin language. I guess that is an African language. He said, I would like to speak it the next time I visit Nigeria. Thanks to the Afro beats, It's becoming more popular around the world. Evidently, he played some of their music, but look at him sitting up there. Doesn't he look ridiculous? He looks absolutely ridiculous. And they will do anything that courtiers tell them to do. They really follow everything. I read the excerpts from that book that I was telling y'all about by, what is his name? His last name is Quinn. Yes, they do everything those courtiers tell them to do. They come up with the craziest, stupidest ideas, and we have saw it on full display when it comes to William and Kate, and now Charles and his horse. I mean, it is just ridiculous. He looks absolutely ridiculous. And this particular squatter reposted that and said this is the most transparent. Pay no attention to how we treat my daughter-in-law. We just love blacks. PR stunt I have ever seen. Exactly. And like I said, it's him using black people. It's him using black music to try to elevate himself. That's all this is. When they want to, everything they try to apply to Meghan is really who they are. They're grifters and they're users. And they are. Always have been, always will be. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And this particular swatter said this. They tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence. And we all know where that come from. Kendrick Lamar, after Meghan said she was in her Joy chapter months ago when visiting Colombia, these two followed. A lot to look forward to, Princess Catherine's new joy. Using the word joy. Yes, this is who these people are. They are. When have you ever heard them associate anything with those people and joy? And look what it says. King Charles III to share playlists of songs which have brought him joy on one-off radio show. Yes, I think so. He's doing it one time, trying to get somebody to pay him some attention. I'm just saying, it's ridiculous. And that's all they do. They want to bite off of Harry and Meghan all the time. And now that Meghan is in the spotlight with her television show, they want to bite off of her every chance they get. It's ridiculous. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And this was in GB News, posted this. And evidently it's somebody who had a account and it was targeting Lorraine. Oh, here it is. But let me read it and then you'll get an understanding of what it's all about. And it's GB News posted this and said, Lorraine Kelly admits social media account dedicated to her is really hurtful, despite previously brushing it off. It's sad. And then the squatty came in and said this. She literally bullies and belittles Meghan Markle every morning on her show. And now she's crying because someone is doing the same to her. It's called karma. Now, I saw the website and I can't remember what the exact name of it is. I think it's something about how many days that she has been off from work. And basically, that's what the website was. It would, talk about how many days she had been off from work, who was substituting when she was working, when she was not working, and just something like this. It was not a malicious site. I saw where the person who opened the account, it's an X account, did a whole long reason why they were closing the account and said it was started for fun, just to poke fun at how many days that Lorraine took off from work. Just document how many days she was off from work and who was substituting and so forth and so on. It was not meant to be malicious. And so now she's saying that she feels bullied and, it hurt her. And my whole thing is, People can dish it out, but they cannot take it. Can you imagine if she had grown men sitting on panels, just absolutely ripping her to shreds like they do Meghan? How she would feel? This absolutely harmless account just poking fun at her, and she is just about to fall apart talking about how hurtful it was. What if she was Meghan? And look how she sits on her couch and talks about Meghan and then bring people in to talk about Meghan. Yes, it is. It's called karma, Lorraine. And it is the most ridiculous thing for you to sit and cry and boo-hoo about something that was a prodigy account, just poking fun at you not being at work, how many days you was taking off. And so she just could not even handle that. We have saw it time and time again. All of these bullies who have nothing but smoke for Meghan and said some of the vile and hateful and disrespectful things, when you come back on them, when you meet them with that same energy, they want to pretend like you are bullying them. That's the way that media over there is. They can dish it out, but they cannot take it. Oh, here it is right here. I had to go and find it. This, I'm going to put it up. It's called Where is Lorraine? That is the name of the account. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing, what they were talking about, but they was saying that they were closing the account. They did not really feel like it definitely was not supposed to be a malicious account. And so it's just ridiculous. She could not even take that. And this particular squatty came up under that and said this, that Lorraine literally bullies Meghan every morning on her show. And she's crying about a prodigy account. You got to be I can't say that word. You got to be S-ing me. If she can't take the heat, she needs to get her old butt out of the kitchen where it's a lie. Yes, so she was crying and moaning about that. I'm going to put it up. You can pause it to read if you want to, but basically this account is saying that it never started out to be anything to be malicious. It was just trying to talk about how many days she had missed. And that's pretty much what the account was all about. Isn't that ridiculous? I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put up this. This is our picture of the day. And I decided to put up these two sack of potatoes dressed up like Angela Bean and the horse. Yes, just a two sack of potatoes in some old dresses. And just decided that they were going to dress them up like Angela and the horse. Y'all tell me if they did a good job. Because it might be the real ones, but it looked like just two sack of potatoes to me. I'm just saying. And this particular squatty said this. It is no neck butterball Levine. Starting Kate's eyebrow twin for the over 80s. Yes, I guess so. She got them eyebrows arched up there really, really high, does she? But all I can say this is it looks like two sack of potatoes to me. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but it looked like two sack of potatoes with a wig and two bad looking dresses. Two awful, horrible, ill-fitting dresses on these two sack of potatoes. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. That is the read. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.